Step into the arena of minds. On this channel, every move is a clash of strategy, every sacrifice a turning point, and every game a battle for glory. Watch two players push the limits of creativity and calculation, as we bring you the drama, suspense, and excitement of chess like never before. Wesley So opens with c4, sending his wing pawn forward like a probing spear, testing Zapata's defenses and warming up the battlefield early. Alonso Zapata replies with e5, claiming central presence immediately, showing he's ready to meet Wesley's ambitions with direct and fearless counterplay. Wesley develops nc3, bringing his knight into the arena with smooth coordination, preparing control over d5 and supporting future queenside expansion. Zapata's nc6 comes out confidently, reinforcing the center while challenging Wesley's setup, hinting at sharp play and flexible structural intentions. Wesley pushes g3, preparing a fianchetto fortress, quietly sharpening long-range pressure from his bishop, while keeping the position stable and dynamic. Zapata mirrors with g6, building his own fianchetto structure, signaling a strategic duel where both sides rely on powerful diagonals to ignite future tension. Wesley's bg2 glides into position, anchoring the long diagonal, eyeing central influence, and preparing for a slow, venomous build-up toward the middle game. Zapata answers with bg7, matching Wesley's idea stride for stride, creating symmetrical tension and setting the stage for a duel of precise maneuvering. Wesley pushes d3, strengthening his center subtly, giving his pieces freedom to breathe while holding back the promise of a future pawn storm. Zapata develops nf6, increasing central pressure and preparing kingside safety, slowly tightening control over key squares that may ignite tactical sparks later. Wesley brings nf3 into play, reinforcing e5's pressure while completing harmonious kingside development, keeping his formation flexible for sudden transitions. Zapata castles, tucking his king safely behind pawns, officially activating the latent dynamic potential of his rooks for future central action. Wesley castles as well, mirroring the safety measure and signaling readiness for deeper strategic conflict, as both armies complete early mobilization. Zapata plays d6, protecting f5 and preparing controlled expansion, quietly reinforcing his center and inviting Wesley to show the first true commitment. Wesley advances Arbonne, a subtle but ambitious signal of queenside intentions, preparing b4 and hinting at pressure along the b-file against Zapata's structure. Zapata counters with a5, challenging Wesley's expansion plans immediately, striking the queenside with authority to limit b4 and provoke structural decisions. Wesley supports with a3, strengthening his queenside and preparing b4 with stability, resisting Zapata's pressure while keeping his long-term plan alive. Zapata plays h6, preventing bg5 ideas and creating luft, a small yet practical move that hints at future kingside flexibility and tactical insurance. Wesley strikes with b4, expanding boldly on the queenside, challenging black's control and opening lines where his rooks and bishop can generate momentum. Zapata captures axb4, cracking open the queenside battlefield, inviting sharp play while trying to undermine Wesley's spatial ambitions through direct confrontation. Wesley recaptures axb4, restoring balance on the queenside while opening fresh lines, signaling his determination to keep the initiative alive with confident pressure. Zapata develops b6, calmly improving piece activity, eyeing central control and preparing subtle coordination as the tension begins tightening across the board. Wesley jumps ND2, reinforcing the B3, F7 diagonal plans while regrouping for a more harmonious setup that hints at positional tightening and latent aggression. Zapata activates rebite, taking over the open file with purpose, preparing counterplay against the queenside as the battlefield widens dangerously. Wesley pushes B5, gaining space with authority, shoving Black's knight backward and showing he's ready to squeeze every inch of queenside initiative available. Zapata retreats near E7, regrouping under pressure, trying to stabilize a tense position while searching for counterattacking chances in the upcoming skirmishes. Wesley develops Bar3, sliding his bishop onto a deadly diagonal, intensifying long-range threats and pressuring Zapata's structure like a blade, slowly advancing. Zapata answers with Q7, connecting rooks while guarding key weaknesses, attempting to neutralize Wesley's brewing plans with measured and resilient defense. Wesley lifts Raoni, reinforcing the A-file and preparing tactical motifs, subtly hinting at piece coordination that may crack open Zapata's defensive shell. Zapata plays BH3, provoking Wesley's kingside and forcing decisions, aiming to disrupt his harmony and create unexpected tension within the calm formations. Wesley responds with ND4, centralizing power and challenging the bishop directly, showing sharp intent as the position's energy begins spiking rapidly. Zapata chooses BXG2, removing a key defender and unsettling Wesley's kingside, hoping the exchange will spark exploitable weaknesses or vibration points. Wesley recaptures KXD2, keeping material balance while activating his king slightly, maintaining composure and preparing for the middle game conflict with confidence. Zapata plays Ni8, regrouping cautiously, trying to reorganize his knights for defensive resilience, while waiting for opportunities to counter Wesley's growing pressure. Wesley advances C5, ripping open the center with bold timing, expanding his spatial control, and forcing Zapata to confront immediate structural challenges. Zapata responds with F5, a fiery counterstrike aiming to seize space, disrupt Wesley's plans, and shift momentum by igniting tactical complications. Wesley captures C8-CT6, further fracturing Black's structure, opening vital lines and demonstrating relentless precision as he deepens the pressure across multiple fronts. Zapata replies with C8-CT6, restoring pawn balance but leaving his position tense, bracing against Wesley's increasing central and queenside dominance. Wesley fires QB3, a sharp check that disrupts coordination, driving Black's king off balance and intensifying the sense of rising danger in the position. Zapata steps Kak7, sidestepping the threat with calm nerves, trying to maintain stability while preparing for the storm Wesley is steadily summoning. Wesley jumps ND2, reorganizing his pieces with purpose, tightening central control while preparing fresh pressure that threatens to disturb Zapata's fragile coordination. Zapata answers with RD8, centralizing his rook and bracing for conflict, hoping strong defensive posture can withstand Wesley's steadily escalating momentum. Wesley brings Racon into play, reinforcing central files and preparing multi-pronged pressure, showing he intends to squeeze Black from every possible direction. Zapata develops NF6, reactivating his knight with renewed purpose, trying to restore harmony and challenge Wesley's tightening grip on the center. Wesley places RC2, doubling ideas on the c-file, subtly preparing pressure, while shifting into a more flexible, intimidating middle game posture. Zapata's retreats defensively, forced back by pressure, highlighting his cramped position as he searches for counterplay amid rising tension. Wesley pushes b6, stabbing into black's structure with precision, gaining space and provoking weaknesses that may soon collapse under mounting pressure. Zapata responds with q7, reinforcing central defenses and coordinating pieces, hoping to stabilize before Wesley's queenside initiative becomes overwhelming. Wesley advances nb5, a bold leap forward, tightening threats around 6 and signaling imminent tactical clashes that could tilt the battlefield sharply. Zapata captures qxb3, removing Wesley's active queen but opening lines, making a practical decision while trying to diffuse immediate queenside pressure. Wesley recaptures nxb3, restoring material balance while repositioning his knight actively, keeping tension alive, and preparing to exploit newly opened files. Zapata plays nd5, lunging into the center with energetic intent, hoping piece activity can challenge Wesley's spatial dominance and spark counterplay. Wesley drives knight forward, planting the knight aggressively and aiming at weak squares, tightening his grip with menacing, well-coordinated pressure. Zapata answers with rd7, organizing defensive resources along key files, attempting to fortify his position before Wesley's initiative becomes overwhelming. Wesley plays r-bone, reinforcing queenside lines and preparing deeper infiltration, showing calm confidence as he sharpens pressure across the entire board. Zapata counters with rfd8, doubling rooks and stabilizing central control, trying to present a resilient wall against Wesley's steadily rising threats. Wesley strikes nxd6, slicing into black's defenses with precision, cracking the structure open and accelerating the transformation of pressure into concrete advantage. Zapata responds with nxd6, recapturing but leaving his position strained, struggling to hold the center as Wesley's forces circle with growing intensity. Wesley plays b/c6, placing his bishop on a dominating outpost, tightening the vice around black's pieces and increasing the urgency of every defensive move. Zapata counters with rate, shifting his rook to challenge future threats, but the position remains tense as Wesley's advantage continues expanding. Wesley activates nc4, centralizing with purpose and tightening control over vital light squares, preparing a precise grind that steadily suffocates Zapata's defensive hopes. Zapata pushes e4, lunging forward to create counterplay, trying to disrupt Wesley's coordination and generate complications in a position growing increasingly desperate. Wesley answers c4, calmly capturing and opening lines, maintaining structural clarity while absorbing Zapata's attempt to break free from the tightening grip. Zapata replies fc4, keeping pieces active and hoping dynamic tension might unsettle Wesley, though his position still strains under mounting pressure. Wesley lifts rb5, targeting weaknesses along the fifth rank and preparing multi-phase pressure, showing sharp awareness as he narrows black's defensive options. Zapata plays nc3, attempting counterplay with an active knight jump, searching for tactical hope as the position's balance tilts heavily against him. Wesley drives rc5, intensifying central control and building a dominant setup, pressuring black's pieces relentlessly with smooth and calculated precision. Zapata answers rad8, reinforcing defensive structure and doubling his rooks, but the coordination struggles against Wesley's overwhelming initiative. Wesley continues with b7, planting the bishop aggressively to restrict movement, suffocating black's rooks and signaling that decisive blows are near. Zapata plays a5, shifting his rook defensively, trying to parry tactical threats while bracing for the final wave of Wesley's advancing pressure. Wesley follows with b5, heightening domination over central lanes and deepening the squeeze, forcing black into increasingly hopeless defensive stances. Zapata jumps down, attempting a desperate repositioning, hoping the knight might spark counter threats despite the collapsing nature of his defensive layout. Wesley advances e3, strengthening structure and preparing to shut down black's counterplay completely, tightening every screw with clinical efficiency. Zapata plays rdSV f7, doubling rooks to resist incoming attacks, though his pieces remain tangled and unable to counter Wesley's growing storm. Wesley finishes with rc7, invading decisively and sealing black's fate as his domination becomes absolute, prompting resignation in a position beyond salvation. That's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really motivates me to bring you even more exciting chess games. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.